Hello viewers, welcome to my channel. If you haven't yet subscribed to my channel, do subscribe it and do not forget to press the bell icon near the subscribe button so that you get the notifications of my latest videos. And do not forget to like and share the video. In today's video, we'll be learning about the chapter Light, Reflection and Refraction. This is the chapter 10 of NCERT, but the chapter 1 of physics in science. In today's video, we'll be learning particularly about the introduction of this chapter. What is light, then what is reflection, then terms related to reflection of light, and then finally we'll study about the laws of reflection of light. Okay, so let us start the video. The name of the chapter is Light, Reflection and Refraction. We'll be studying about the reflection of light and the refraction of light. But in today's video, particularly about reflection, we will be studying. Okay. Now, what is light? Light is a form of energy. Light is a form of energy, and this form of energy enables us to see. It gives us a sensation of vision. Okay. Now, it is because of light that we are able to see. We have this vision because of light. Now, how am I able to say this, that it's because of light that we are able to see? Because any object reflects the light rays that falls on it. An object reflects the light rays that falls on it. How are you able to see this board? Because light is striking on this board and then you're able to see it. The light is striking on the board, then it is getting reflected, and then you are able to see the object. Or you take any other object, you are able to see this marker. This happens because light strikes on this marker or light incidents on this marker and it is reflected back to your eyes. Alright, now just let me draw the diagram and show you so that you can understand properly. I will show you about how light incidents on an object and how it reflects back and how you are able to see. Let me take this sunlight as a source. Sun is a source of light here, and then let me take this flower pot. Let me take this flower pot, okay? And here I'll take your beautiful eyes. Alright. Now, here you have the source of light. It incidents on this flower, okay? On this flower pot, it incidents. Then, this object or this flower pot, as of now this is the object, this reflects back the light which it receives. Then we are able to see. So any object reflects back the light which it receives. Because of that we are able to see. And this is why light causes a sensation of sight or vision, whatever you may say. We are able to see because of light. Okay. Now you may ask me that how are we able to see through a transparent medium? Why we cannot see a transparent medium? Why can we see through a transparent medium? The answer is light is transmitted through a transparent medium. You take this a transparent medium, just consider this to be a transparent medium, and this bulb to be a source of light, the source. When the light rays goes to the transparent medium, it is transmitted. The light rays can pass easily through this transparent medium. This is why we can see through a transparent medium. We do not see like object, we just see through the transparent medium, okay? And another important thing, light travels in a straight line. Light always travels in a straight line in the form of rays, okay? In the form of ray. Ray means the path along which the light travels. The path along which the light travels is known as the ray. Alright. Then now I'll be telling you about what is reflection. I will define what is reflection. I'll help you understand what is reflection. Particularly about reflection we will be studying now. And then after reflection, after explaining what is reflection, I will tell you what are the types of reflection. Alright. Now reflection. About this word we will study now. What is reflection? We say no, reflect. Something gets reflected. Reflection means bouncing back of light from the surface on which it falls. This is reflection. This is reflection. The way light gets bounced back, from the surface on which it falls is known as reflection. See, light is getting bounced. See, light is falling from the bulb and it is getting bounced back, and then we are able to see this whole process is known as reflection. Now, if you want to see what are the types of reflection, there are mainly two types. One is regular reflection. Another is irregular or diffused reflection. Both are the same. Irregular reflection or diffused reflection. Now, this regular reflection takes place on a smooth surface, say a mirror or a polished surface. From these kind of surfaces, regular reflection takes place. But irregular takes place from irregular kind of rough surface. Okay. Now, suppose I take this regular reflection. Okay. And now I'll tell you what regular reflection. It takes place, I told you, from a smooth surface. Smooth surface is generally like this. I can denote it by this straight line itself. Now, how the reflection takes place in a smooth surface? See, this is a smooth surface. Okay. Smooth surface. Now, light rays are incidenting or striking on this. Okay. Striking. Now, how does it reflect back? It reflects back in a straight way. Anyway, light travels in straight lines, but it reflects back in a regular manner. It reflects back like this. The reflected rays are seen like this. There is no irregularity in the reflection. It is reflected back like this. Now, I want to show you about irregular reflection. For that, I have to take a rough surface. Irregular reflection or diffused reflection. Diffused. Okay, both are right. Diffused reflection. The surface is something of this kind. Rough surface. Okay. Now, you see the reflection over here, how it's reflecting. I take this rough surface, and the light rays are incidenting on this rough surface. Now, how does it reflect back? You see, one goes like this, another goes like this, another goes like this. There's no uniformity like regular reflection. You compare this diagram and this diagram. Easily you yourself can say which is regular reflection and which is irregular reflection. So these were the two types of reflection: regular reflection an irregular or diffused reflection. Okay, now you might have observed that I was using a few terms like incident ray, then reflected ray, surface, or the point of incidence, or whatever. I was using certain terms when I was talking about reflection. So that's what now I am going to tell you some terms, some important terms which you should be knowing before learning about reflection. So the first term which I would like to teach you is incident ray. Generally we denote incident ray by I. Okay, incident ray, and angle of incidence is this way. Incident ray this way, or some of them use IR, incident ray, anything, it's ray. Now incident ray, how will I define incident ray? The light ray which incidents or which strikes, okay, which incidents or which strikes, you can use any word, which incidents or falls or strikes on a surface is known as incident ray. Generally this way we will be expressing how it incidents, how the ray is incidenting on the surface. This is the incident ray, the light ray which incidents or falls or strikes onto a surface. Suppose this is the surface, light ray is getting incidenting, this is striking onto the surface. So this is the incident ray. Now reflected ray. Now what is reflected ray? Reflected ray is that light ray which reflects from a surface, which reflects from the surface. Okay, now this ray was the incident ray, it struck on the surface, and now this ray will get reflected. This is the reflected ray. This is reflected, or this ray bounced back from this surface. So this is the reflected ray. This is the incident ray. This is the reflected ray. Now I'll tell you what is normal. The third important term related to reflection of light. Or I'll tell you first which is point of incidence, so it will be easy to understand. I'll tell you what is point of incidence. Point of incidence. See, I showed you a diagram in which I drew a surface. Then I showed you the incident ray, right? Then I showed you the reflected ray. Now, which is the point of incidence? I told you this is the incident ray, this is the reflected ray. Now, you tell me which is the point of incidence. The point of incidence means the point on which the incident ray is striking, particularly this way. Or the point on the reflecting surface, this is the reflecting surface at which the incident ray falls. The point, let me write it, the point on the reflecting surface at which the incident ray, this ray, incident ray falls. This point is the point of incidence. This is that point of incidence. Okay. Then now I will tell you what is normal. Now I will tell you which is the normal. Normal is the perpendicular line. The perpendicular line to the surface. Okay, this is the surface, this is the reflecting surface. This is your incident ray. I told you already, this is the incident ray, point of incidence, then reflected ray. Now a perpendicular line to the surface is known as the normal. This is the normal. This is a perpendicular line. Okay, this is the perpendicular line, this is the normal. This is the rough surface, this is the smooth surface, the smooth part where the reflection takes place. Okay, the normal means a perpendicular line drawn at the reference point to the surface. This part, this one, this line is the normal. It is a perpendicular line to the surface, to the reflecting surface. That is the normal. Now angle of incidence and angle of reflection. Angle of incidence and angle of reflection. Okay, both the angles I'll teach you now. Angles. What? The which two angles I'll be telling you about now? Angle of incidence and angle of reflection. Angle of reflection, not refraction, reflection. This is the normal. This is the incident ray. This is the reflected ray. Okay. Now, the angle made by the incident ray with the normal at the point of incidence is known as the angle of incidence. Now, how to define this reflector ray? The angle made by the reflector ray, this is the reflector ray, the angle made by the reflected ray with the normal, this is the normal, at the point of incidence, this is the point of incidence, is known as the reflected ray. Sorry, reflected angle of reflection. This is the angle of incidence, this is the angle of reflection. Now you have learned the terms related to reflection. Now you can understand easily the laws of reflection of light, because now you have understood, now you have learned all the terms related to this lesson. This whatever is required to learn about reflection, you have learned incident ray, you have learned what is reflected ray, then you have learned about the point of incidence, right? Then you have learned about the normal, you have learned about the angle of incidence, you have learned what is angle of reflection. So now laws of reflection of light will be very easy to understand. Now let me first draw the diagram so that it will be easier to understand. Alright. Now say for example I take this as my diagram over here. This is the surface, the smooth surface, and this is the rough surface. This part, this is the rough surface and this is the reflecting surface. This part where this kind of slanting lines or these obliques are noted, this is the rough surface. Okay, this is the rough surface and this is the smooth surface. Rough. No reflection takes place here. I mean, no kind of smooth reflection takes place here. And this is the smooth surface, where particularly I am going to show about the reflection. I am taking this as my normal N. And now this is my incident ray. Okay, incident ray. And this one is my reflector ray. Alright. The angle formed between the incident ray and the normal at the point of incidence is angle of incidence. The angle formed between the reflected ray and the normal at the point of incidence is known as angle of reflection. Okay. This is the diagram. Now I will tell you the two laws of reflection of light. the first law of reflection of light is the angle of incidence the angle of incidence is equal to the angle of reflection. Angle of incidence is equal to the angle of reflection. That means these two angles are equal. The measure of this angle and the measure of this angle are equal. That means angle I is equal to angle R. This is the first law of reflection. Now I will teach you the second law of reflection. The second law of reflection says that the incident ray, that means this ray, the incident ray, the normal, that means the perpendicular line, this is the normal N, the normal to the mirror. Just take this to be a mirror because this is a smooth surface and here is a rough surface. Take this to be a mirror. So the normal to the mirror at the point of incidence. At the point of incidence. See, the normal, it is perpendicular, I told you. It is perpendicular to what? It is perpendicular to the surface at the point of incidence. That means the normal is perpendicular here. Here, the normal is perpendicular to the mirror because I have taken this to be a mirror. The normal is perpendicular to the mirror at the point of incidence. So here the second law says that the incident ray, the normal to the mirror at the point of incidence, and the reflected ray. This is the reflected ray. The ray that is getting reflected. This is the reflected ray. They all lie in the same plane. This is the second law of reflection. The incident ray, the normal to the mirror at the point of incidence, and the reflected ray all lie in the same plane. This is the second law of reflection. So that's it for today. In this video, we have learnt about light, then reflection of light, the types of reflection, terms related to reflection of light, and we ended our video with the laws of reflection of light. If you have any doubt, do let me know in the comment section, or if you want me to make any video on a particular topic or on a particular subject, even that do tell me in the comment section. And as of now, I tell you a goodbye.